My inner thoughts are oftentimes inappropriate and politically incorrect. All right. Nina, I see what you wrote, but I don't know what it means. What does it mean? Okay, fuck it. Fuck
Which
it. Go ahead.
which did I wrote
May I have a
where?
crumb of live access, please?
That's what I'm saying. That was just my impression of you. You're
Yes.
like, I'd like to go live. May I have a crumb of live access, please?
Please. Please, sir. Can I have some more? All right. So everyone, hold your pearls. They're gonna be fucking. Because I can say that. Because of where I'm live right now.
So vulgar.
23. Every right. Isabel. Hi, sister.
Hi, bro.
It's hours later, and we've been fucking for way too long. I'm sure he was trying to make it to where I couldn't talk, but the minute he took his hand away from my mouth, after I lashed out at him for telling me to obey, he decided that it was time for me to learn my lesson by insinuating he was some sort of master. She's such a bitch. I love it. Okay. He decided it was time for me to learn my lesson by insinuating he was some sort of master. But he's wrong. I am a slave. But he's wrong. I am a slave to him. Yeah, she is. All right, focus. Yes. Nina, please feel free to exit because I know he's not your favorite character. But he's wrong. I am a slave to him. You had no... Gasping, I tense up as King thrusts hard inside of me. Right. I grit out through my teeth as he begins a slow, pounding pace I fear is meant to punish me. As he stares into my eyes, I notice that his are hardened, cold, as he busies himself battering his flesh into my body. Thanks to his admirations. Yeah. Admirations. Thanks to his admirations in my office earlier, I'm wet, and the glide is smooth and easy. My body is covered in slight bruises, love bites. Small welts mar my ass cheeks where he's spanked me, turning my flesh a dusty pink. The way King takes me so unapologetically is the sexiest thing I have ever had the privilege. Hi, we speak words for a living occasionally. Had the privilege of experiencing. Though, even being fucked like this, I need to be heard. Need to know, though, being fucked like this, I need to be heard. Yes. Had the privilege of experiencing. Though, even being fucked like this, I need to be heard. Need to know that I'm not taking it lying down. Even though I am. Quite literally. No problem, Nina. King says smoothly. His eyes flash as he looks down at me. I bite my lip, trying to look away from him, but he keeps me still with a hand cupped around the nape of my neck. The headboard bangs irregularly against the wall, echoing the pounding of my heart. How do you feel about that? You're like, yes, please, Daddy. All right, stop. Nina, I'm not going to check you out. The headboard bangs irregularly against the wall, echoing the pounding of my heart. I swallow hard. It's only been like 3 weeks, I say breathlessly. He says, bending down to my ear. My pussy clenches hard around him at his words. He whispers roughly against my mouth before tugging on my lips. Licking it into his mouth, I let myself get lost in his taste. It wasn't a question, the way he phrased it. He was telling me. But I'm nothing if not adamant I'll have a voice no matter what. Yes, I say. A high-pitched sound escapes me as he traps my wrists in his hands and pulls them above my head. I moan, feeling a thin strip of... Oh, where's my mouse? I tried to be slick with the scrolling, but I could not. I moan, feeling the thin strap of leather. Oh, shit. When did he pull out the leather? Focus. I moan, feeling a thin, soft strip of leather being pulled over my hands and strapped tightly against my wrists, stilling my movements. Surprising me, he rears back on his heels, shuffles back a little bit, leaving the tip of his dick just barely inside me, and grasps my hips hard, yanking me down about a foot, all the way back onto him in one brutal, shocking movement that stretches my arms almost unbearably. At the feel of how thick he is, how brutal his dick is inside me, spreading me almost as unbearably as the rest of my body is, I scream a long, tortured sound. Throwing my head back, I arch my back off the bed, wailing his name. My orgasm is even stronger with this feeling of possessiveness he has toward me. Towards with an S. My what is that? No, that is the brush of fabric. My orgasm is even stronger with this feeling of possessiveness he has towards me. My heart races with the knowledge that he had a deeper hold on me than I ever knew. I love this man, and with every slide of his skin on mine, it gets worse. Ah, King, ah! I thrash, feeling my hair whisper soft against his face. Did we peak? Giggity. We peaked a little. Ah! I thrash, feeling my hair whisper soft against my face. I stiffen and pinch my eyes shut, feeling his lips and teeth enclose my sensitive nipple, and tug before nibbling. I climax hard, not even able to close my legs against the pressure. Barely even able to clench my pussy down on him, he's so big. His hands grab my hips in a firm grip, keeping me pinned down for him. I'm moaning, whimpering. My heart pounds out of my chest with every suck of his mouth, but yet he works me through it. No. That was off. You heard it. I heard it. And we're re-recording it. He works me through it. King hums deep in his chest. The feeling vibrates through my nipple and down to my clit, making me throb even harder around him. He chuckles. My eyes prick, feeling too much. You're overwhelmed, so be overwhelmed with that statement. Hi, Claudia. My eyes prick, feeling too much. His eyes are searing into my soul. Does he know how I feel? Can he? I can't come anymore, I whimper up at him as I dig my nails into my palm. Oh, King, please, my pussy, He tilts his head and gets a little grin on his face. I feel like I'm going to pass out. King's chest flexes as he works to lay down on top of me, smashing my breasts. He brings a hand up to cup my breast and squeezes as he puts his lips to my ear. I swallow hard. The prospect of this man making me completely lose control ramps up my desire at an almost painful level. He says, "Then pass out. Let me fuck you unconscious, sweet thing." ¿Qué fue? I swallow hard. The prospect of this man making me completely lose control ramps up my desire to an almost painful level. So are you saying... I fall silent as he sucks my earlobe into his mouth and bites down gently, causing my overly sensitized flesh to break out in goosebumps. He pinches and rolls my nipple, causing me to gush wetly over his dick. His hand smooths down my stomach into where we're joined, swirling through our combined wetness. And then, to my surprise, he goes lower, between the seam of my buttocks, and brushes his fingers against my anus. I stiffen hard, my fingers gripping the leather strap hard at the forbidden feeling. It's foreign, yet exciting. The fact that it's King doing this to me makes me even more lustful. My heart races as he brushes his lips, brushes, not blushes. My heart races as he brushes his lips against mine, plucking and nibbling. His tongue slicks his way across my plump bottom lip, our breaths mingled intimately. "King," I whisper, my eyes widen, feeling his finger circle the massive... That should be a nervous king. "King," I whisper, my eyes widen, feeling his finger circle and massage the tight rim of my ass. I sob. The feeling of giving myself over to him is overwhelming. To give myself over to him in this way, when I couldn't even tell him I loved him, doesn't feel right. My nails dig into the flesh of my palm, and I fight the desperate feeling swelling through my body and rendering me momentarily incapable of speech. He whispers, barely pressing. I groan as the tip of his fingers sink past the tight ring of my muscles, and we both still completely at my sharp inhalation of breath. I jerk, feeling his thumb nestle in between the lips of my sex and circle my clit, just making me feel. Oh, I don't like that sentence. We're fixing it. I jerk, feeling his thumb nestle in between the lips of my sex and circle my clit, just making me feel. I futilely yank at the leather binding my hands, wishing to touch him, to feel his muscles moving under my fingertips. My body mists with a fresh coat of sweat, and for a tense moment, we're just staring into each other's eyes as my breasts heave into his calm chest. I'm under a spell, lost in the depths of his gaze when it happens. "I love you," I say. His eyes stay steady on mine, his fingers even steadier. But what? But I see it. Breathe. But what's not steady is his chest. We're gonna push it out. But what's not steady is his chest, which hardens against mine. King's breath hitches before washing over my face in a rush, almost as if he was holding a deep breath. His eyes crinkle at the edges, and the abandon I see in them is what want for myself. His eyes crinkle at the edges. The abandon I see in them is what want for myself. I'm pretty sure it's what I want for myself. Yay, nay, maybe so. I'm at Lily, because I know SK's in the shower. I want. Okay. Great. Oops, and my other phone is not vibrate. Airplane mode. Come on, there we go. It was starting to fuck with the audio. You can hear it crinkle. Fuck, I lost my spot. Is what I want for myself. My neck arches as he suddenly sinks his finger deep inside me, and the harsh rumble that leaves his throat steals my breath and makes me weak. He lowers his head to my neck and laps a hot lick up my throat before bending to my ear. My throat tightens as he begins to thrust in and out slowly, causing me to lock my ankles against his backside. But it's no use. His hips prod against mine and he presses even deeper into me, stuffing me so full that I'm not sure how I'm even able to get all of him inside me. No, I'm not. King breathes into my ear before lowering and capturing my aching nipple into his mouth, causing me to cry out as he simultaneously sinks both his fingers and his dick as deep as he can. He's raising his head, his lips tugging hard on my nipple before releasing it, and then pins me with a stare. He drags his dick through my... My lips got wet. He drags his dick through my swollen, abused tissues before thrusting steadily. He drags his dick through my swollen, abused tissues before thrusting steadily. The smacking sound of our flesh making me blush somehow, even more fiercely than before. Let's fix that. The smacking sound of our flesh making me blush somehow even more fiercely than before. Shaking, I exhale raggedly as I feel his skin begin to heat against mine. God damn, they've been going at it forever. Shaking, I exhale raggedly as I feel his skin begin to heat against mine. and my legs tremble at the onslaught of my orgasm, coming hard. My vision goes hazy. King, I think I'm going to pass out, I whimper. King's lips graze down to my jaw and then lower until he brushes against the sensitive skin of my neck. He latches onto my neck, right over my pulse, and sucks hard. My body jerks as if electrocuted, and that does it for me. I suck in a deep breath, his finger and his dick moving inside of me unrelentingly. Let's fix this. She's like, and I'm fucking toast. But here's what's happening. Okay, I found it. And that does it for me. I suck in a deep breath, his finger and his dick moving inside of me unrelentingly. The overstimulated muscles of my vagina ripple around him, and I whimper. Once, twice, my muscles tightening before loosening into nothing. The last thing I see before darkness is the hard muscles of King's shoulders. The last thing I see before darkness is the hard muscles of King's shoulder bunching and flexing as he works himself inside of me. I'm gone. When I wake up a few hours later, it's quiet in the little blue room, aside from the gentle roar of the fireplace. All right, we're gonna fix that. And yay, it's all done. I don't think there's any more naughtiness. Oh, sorry. I was breathing. I have a burp coming up. Come on. No? Fine. Be like that. It's quiet in the little blue room, aside from the gentle roar of the fireplace. I look over, seeing King sleeping peacefully next to me. He's on his back, an arm tucked behind his head, his broad chest rising and falling rhythmically. Sweetie is perched on his chest, as usual, with her head tucked under her arm. Every sensation hits all at once, and I tense, pulling my knees up to my chest and rocking for a second. My body hurts, sore from the hours of physical strain he'd put me through. Relaxing my legs, I lie there for a second, wondering if he continued to fuck me after I passed out. I hope he did. The thought thrills me, as does other thoughts. Hi, Beard Daddy. You missed a lot of brown chicken, brown cow. I hope he did. The thought thrills me, as does other thoughts. The fact that King used my body, continuing to please us both even after I was unconscious, and how safe I feel with him telling me I loved him. I love him. Two separate thoughts. They don't need to be combined. And how I feel with him telling him I love him. Ironically, despite my unique situation, it makes me feel a renewed sense of freedom I can't say I've ever felt. I've felt ever. There we go. It makes me feel a renewed sense of freedom I can't say I've felt. Ever. Another sensation that hits me is that I'm clean. And my skin is also moisturized as well. Rolling over to my back, I stretch and then get out of bed, patting my way through the door and into King's room, briefly wondering why he hasn't insisted on me joining him in his bedroom. I head to the restroom to relieve myself, and it's then, while I'm scrunching my curls with my hands in the mirror, idly admiring my wedding ring, that it hits me like a ton of bricks. I haven't started my period. Okay. Uh-oh. All right, so I am going to go live on the clock app. I think I can, because I think that was like the last super duper naughty scene. So 2 seconds. 2 seconds, everybody. Yes, that is the sticker. That is right. That is what we're doing. We're going to put that up. Oh, what are we recording? Oh, there we go. More the Heir. I really wish this would auto-populate. And my nose is clicky. All right, let's set a live goal. Let's just do it pumpkins, because pumpkins are easy, or autumn. We'll do pumpkins until after Halloween, and then we'll do autumn. Let's make the goal impossible, and done. We've got it. Okay. So I have switched microphones, and it's so funny. Both sound so different. There we go. And that's pretty high, and that's good. All right. I can now receive guests. Omi, pick one. Pick one. Oh, unstable interwebs. All right. So if you're just joining us, you missed the naughty fun time with the pleasure Dom. But the people on Twitch heard it, so we're back. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Let's go. Bedtime with the Heir. I freeze, catching my eyes in the reflection of the mirror as my heart literally free falls into my stomach so hard I'm dizzy. Slapping my hand against my mouth, I stumble to the toilet, falling to my knees and barely making it before I'm expelling the contents of our dinner from the night before. All right, all of that was on purpose. Fast, quick, to get the urgency out. There we go. I shiver, grasping the toilet seat hard with thoughts racing through my brain at the insane possibility that I could be pregnant. How could I be so stupid to have overlooked the fact that my period hasn't come when it should have come on, at least when it should have came on. Not come on. But please continue to freak out. How could I be so stupid to have overlooked the fact all right, I'm adding way too many words. How could I be so stupid to have overlooked the fact my period hasn't come when it should have came on at least 2 weeks ago? You have at least emphasize. So we will do what the author says and wants. How could I be so stupid to have overlooked the fact my period hasn't come when it should have came on at least 2 weeks ago? Dry heaving, I whimper into the toilet bowl, feeling like I might be fighting for my life. That's not what it says. There's no might. I'm having too much fun. Dry heaving, I whimper into the toilet bowl, feeling like I'm fighting for my life as my body strains, despite the fact there's nothing left to upchuck. I flinch, hearing King come into the room. I flinch, hearing King come into the room, dressed in a pair of sweatpants and nothing else. King says softly as he kneels next to me and helps to put my hair back. Cracking my eyes back open, I heave a deep breath, unable to talk. His eyes are filled with nothing but concern as his hand roams over me, stroking my hair and down my back in long, soothing motions. I lay my head rather weakly on the rim of the toilet and try not to let myself feel embarrassed. We're married, after all. He might be seeing a lot worse. At the thought, don't freak out. At the thought, I moaned weakly, seeing his arm reach past my head. He peels my cheek off the seat and gently cradles me into his chest before he closes the lid and flushes the toilet. I don't know. Hi, Lacey. I just complimented you. I don't know. Might be food poisoning or something. It's a bold-faced lie, and I know it. It's a bold-faced lie, and I know it. You're scared. It's a bold-faced lie, and I know it. He strokes my cheek before picking me up, bridal style, carrying me out the little toilet closet and into the main restroom. Teeth, I implore. He sits me on the vanity and watches patiently with a hand on my knee as I violently scrub my teeth. His fretful behavior is endearing, and I wonder at how natural this feels to him, or if he struggles with being attentive. I don't think so. I spit, rinse my mouth, and then turn to the mirror where I balk and cover my face with my hands. King, what the fuck? I groan, tentatively peeling. Thank you. I heard someone say, "You're good. Thanks." Tentatively peeling a hand away from my skin, I lament at the state of my face. My face is slightly clammy and my color is washed out, but it's all the little dots that adorn my entire face that give me pause. She bursts the blood vessels again. Damn. All right. But it's the little dots that adorn my entire face that gives me pause. I burst blood vessels in my face with how sick I was. How do you feel? You're embarrassed. You look a fucking mess. Your husband sees you. You're newlyweds. You're embarrassed. I burst blood vessels in my face with how sick I was. Oh my God, I say weakly. I don't like that. I don't like the oh my God. She's embarrassed. Be embarrassed. Oh my God, I say weakly. I hear the water start back up and King steps into me, tugging my hands down before I feel a cool, wet cloth pass over my cheeks and forehead. He says quietly. He's saying I should bring you to the doctors. He says quietly, and the concern in his eyes takes me back. My eyes flicker up at him, knowing that he's probably right, but not for the reason he thinks. I pause, not sure how ready I am to share this with him. You need to get proof first. I pause, not sure how ready I am to share this with him, that I could be pregnant. No, I'm fine. I don't go to the doctors for every little thing. I'll drink some broth and go in a little early today. I feel fine. Other than the soreness from the rough sex we'd had last night, I'm telling the truth. Besides that. Other than the soreness from the rough sex we'd had last night, I'm telling the truth. I really think maybe the food didn't sit right with me. King stays quiet, assessing me thoroughly. Bending, he picks me back up and carries me to his bed before laying me back down. I nod. Burying deeper into the pillows and blanket, I take a second to smell his bed. Oh, be an adult. Be cool. Burying deeper into the pillows and blankets, I take a second to smell his bed. It smells like him, though the scent isn't as strong because he's been in my bed for the most part. Yes, I'm okay. I promise. He brushes his hand down my face before getting off the side of the bed and leaving the room, giving me just enough time to have a miniature freak out. Found you. Giving me just enough time to have a miniature freakout. I need to schedule a doctor's appointment. Flopping over to my side, I reach for my cell and call my gynecologist, praying I can make an appointment for today. Thankfully, the office answers quickly, and when I tell them how sick I am, explaining how my face is broken out in blood vessels and how I need an emergency pregnancy test, they get me in right away. Blowing out a relieved breath, I take the opening in the afternoon right before the office closes. Hanging up quickly just as King. You being sneaky, so let's continue to be sneaky. Blowing out a relieved breath, I take the opening in the afternoon right before the office closes, hanging up quickly just as King walks through the door with a plate of grapes, cheese, and crackers. Thank you, I say quietly, reaching out to squeeze his wrist affectionately as he puts it down on my nightstand. I'm distracted by the sight of his rippling muscles, and for a moment, I'm just staring, only able to snap out of it when I see his eyes fall to my phone still clutched in my hand. My heart skips a beat as I literally see the thought that he wants to go through it. No, King, we're not being super duper possessive. My heart skips a beat as I literally see the thought that he wants to go through it. So I put the phone down slowly, trying not to act suspicious. Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. Okay, I got it out. Thanks, Mr. Radio. Thanks, Nia. Okay. Popping a grape in my mouth, I chew. I'm about to get ready to go in. I'm late, but Blair can handle everything for an hour without my presence, I think. Making conversation while trying to cover up why I had my phone while not lying. Making conversation while I try to cover up why I had my phone while not lying. Okay, we can fix that sentence to get those thoughts across. Making conversation while trying to cover up why I had my phone while not lying. Will he buy it? King's eyebrow arches. Folding his arms, he continues to stand there and stare with a gaze so piercing that I begin to panic. Does he know? He can't know, not before I'm sure. I take another couple of grapes and try to stuff my mouth before standing up. I'm going to get dressed. Oh, let's be around a mouthful of food. Giggity. I'm going to get dressed, I mumble through a mouthful of food. Excuse me? No, we're not going to do that. We're gonna not do it for excuse me. Excuse me. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. I don't like it with the mouthful of food, so I'm going to get rid of it. I don't like it. It feels very Quasimodo-esque, so we're not going to do it. I'm going to go get dressed, I mumble through a mouthful of food. Excuse me. Before he can say anything, I go into the closet to pick out something to wear, settling on a simple pair of black slacks and a white fitted tee. King stops me with a hand on my elbow just before I go to walk into the bathroom. I pause, not wanting to meet his eyes, but knowing if I don't, it'll seem even more suspicious. I frown. On my second day in the office? No, okay. He says, "What is it going to take for you to stay at home today?" What? No. Yeah, I know, right, Lily? Very Quasimodo-esque. We're gonna get rid of it. I frown. On my second day in the office? No, I can't be seen looking like a slacker. King, stop worrying. I place my hand over his and rub gently. I'm really okay. So you don't have to hover over me. You don't have to hover over me. I'm not precious. I got this. I'm really okay, so you don't have to hover over me. I know how to lay down if I don't feel good. I promise I'll have Xavier bring me straight home if I'm not feeling well. Pulling away, I walk into the bathroom and brush my hair into a high ponytail. Let's fix that. Pulling away, I walk into the bathroom and brush my hair into a high ponytail. And though I don't feel like it, I resign myself to putting on a very light cover of makeup. As I work, King shaves, staying quiet, because he's eyeballing the fuck out of you. Give me 1 second. Great. As I work, King shaves, staying quiet. Half an hour later, we're in the clear, headed to the office. I look over at him and place my hand on his face, smoothing my thumb over his cheek. He's been attentive the 40-minute drive to the office, smoothing his hand down my hair, rubbing my knee affectionately. He pulled me over so I could rest my head on his shoulder, and I'm thankful for the peace he gives me. Our eyes meet, and I melt. I love you, I whisper, and with the words, I see a weight lift off him as he visibly relaxes. It's like he's tense, needing verbal confirmation of my love for him. King murmurs, leaning down to kiss me. It's then, when his lips are so soft against mine, that I almost break and tell him what I suspect. But unfortunately, Is that supposed to say old wounds? I think it says old woods. But unfortunately, old woods surface, making me hesitate. I assume it's wounds. Right, Lily? But unfortunately, old wounds surface. Don't be weird. I was waiting for confirmation. But unfortunately, old wounds surface, making me hesitate. Realistically, despite how he says he feels and thank you. Realistically, despite how he says he feels and how enamored we seem to be with each other, I'm still trying to get to know this man. In the elevator, heading to my floor, I remain quiet, needing time to come to terms with the fact that I might be pregnant with his baby. When it hits me, how the hell am I going to evade Xavier? Looking out the side of my eye, I try and figure out a way underneath the eyes of my bodyguard. Okay, yeah, no, that's okay, SK. That's how I recorded it. That's on the page on the book, not the manuscript, 347. Xavier is the bodyguard. Looking out the side of my eye, I try and figure out a way underneath the eyes of my bodyguard. Hey, King, I don't think it's necessary for me to have security while I'm at work, especially when I'm in the office. Maybe Xavier... King cuts me off, and I can tell it makes him weary that I'm constantly talking about the staff. Complaining about them, if I'm being honest. But the office, though? I bite my lip as the elevator smoothly rolls my accent. I bite my lip as the elevator smoothly rolls to a stop, and then King pulls me to him, grabbing a handful of my ass and kissing me deeply, before letting me and Xavier off. I turn to walk through the foyer, and seeing Blair, I smile. Hey, Chica, good morning. Do you have any other applicants listed for me? Blair stands, smoothing down her red pencil skirt. Yes, ma'am, and I got a tea for you as well. She comes around the corner with a stack of envelopes and a tall cup with a lid. The kind of action that makes me melt. We're not going to leave that much space. You're feeling super excited. The kind of action makes me melt, and I take it from her with a little smile. Oh, Blair, I don't expect you to get me drinks and stuff. You're like, this isn't your job, but thank you. Oh, Blair, I don't expect you to get me drinks and stuff. I say softly, but even though I wasn't expecting it, the gesture warms me more than I'd like to admit. I'm still a little queasy from this morning, and my thoughts won't stop racing. But I really needed this. What a morning. I mumble as we make our way into our spacious office. I have the same view King has, and the knowledge makes me giddy. I have the same view as King has. Nope, why are we adding words? Just read the words on the screen. I have the same view King has, and the knowledge makes me giddy. Well, Blair sets the stack of folders on my desk, and we both sit, sipping our tea. I think you'll find there's lots of promising, not compromising. That is no way to run a company. I think you'll find that there's a lot of promising candidates in here, new to business and needing a chance just as you requested. Grabbing the folder off the top, I nod. Great, let's begin with Laura, I quip, taking out her resume. She looks promising. Blair smiles, and we spend the next few hours going over candidate after candidate, calling everyone in for an interview for the upcoming week. Working through lunch, we both look up when Xavier knocks on the door with an order of soup and crackers for both of us, a considerate gesture from King. I give him a playful smile. Xavier, you've been reporting back to him all day, haven't you? You're gonna give him shit, so let's give him shit. Xavier, you've been reporting back to him all day, haven't you? I tease, shaking my head, but it really doesn't take me by surprise. I stand up and stretch. Excusing Blair, I finally look at my phone, seeing a couple missed texts asking me how I was feeling and if I was okay. Yes, I'm okay. Thanks so much for the soup, baby. Blair and I appreciate ya. How's your day? Izzy. Sitting back down, I open up my soup. Thank you, Jeremy. Sitting back down, I open up my soup and see a fragrant broccoli and cheddar soup that makes my mouth water. Picking my phone back up, not picking back up my phone, because my brain loves to transpose words. Picking my phone back up, I text him again before he can respond. Did you have lunch? Izzy. In no time at all, I see the 3 dots appear, letting me know that he's typing me back. He sends me a smiley face, and to be honest, the simple admission that he cared enough to give me space to do my job, which he thought he was taking away. Okay, focus. He sends me a smiley face, and to be honest, the simple admission that he cared enough to give me space to do my job strikes me as incredibly thoughtful, in stark comparison to the other ways he's single-mindedly barreled into my life and taken over. Well, that's sweet of you, King. Thank you for allowing me space. Speaking of, I have an appointment in a couple hours that I need to leave for. I'll be back in time for Dennis to drive us home. Izzy. I nervously nibble my lip. King says, where are you going and what kind of appointment? Uh-oh. Hi, SK. I should have said I had to meet with a client or something, but Xavier would have ratted me out in a heartbeat. Then King would think I'm lying or worse, trying to scheme to get away. I've just acknowledged my feelings for him. I'm not going anywhere. It's my OBGYN appointment. You know, women's stuff. Izzy. He's typing for a minute before the message comes through. No, King, please don't do that. It's not necessary. It's just routine. I don't need you there while she's got me in stirrups with all the little instruments. Please don't. I want to maintain some sort of sexy integrity around you. Izzy. He says, you didn't tell me that you were going to the doctor today. Let me cancel my evening meetings. I'll take you. No, please don't. Sexy instruments, little instruments, integrity. You know that won't bother me. What kind of instruments, King? No, dirty bird. Well, it bothers me. Sharp ones, scrapey ones, and besides, they won't let you in for that anyways. Ask your mother if you don't believe me. Izzy. Did I say scrappy or scrapey? Okay, cool. Thank ya. My reputation. Oh, good. I hope I have a good reputation. Spoken just like a true man. I should be good tomorrow. And besides, you didn't get enough at all? And besides, you didn't get enough all night, Izzy. He said, scrapey. Sounds painful. How long before we can have sex afterwards? She's like, spoken like a true man. And besides, you didn't get enough all night? And you didn't get enough all night? And you didn't get enough all night? Yeah. All right, we're playing with it. I should be good tomorrow. And besides, you didn't get enough all night? Izzy. King, I'm not asking her that. Of course you can, silly. Izzy. King says, Google said you're having a pap smear then. And Isabel, it's never enough when it comes to you. Ask the doctor if I can suck your ball of nerves. Then at least, since I won't be able to do other things with P's and V's. I didn't have to say that. I blush. Oh my God, he's Googling my symptoms? I'm oddly impressed and curious at the same time because this tells me he's not been in a romantic relationship long enough to know what constitutes a pap smear. After another couple minutes, the dots appear. He sends me a shocked emoji followed by a sad face one, making me giggle. Yes, with no pain medicine. It's very medieval-like that they subject us women to this kind of torture without any sort of relief. Izzy. I go about the next hour sending design estimates to Fabian, who thanks King. Okay, he says, oh my God, baby, that's what they do? They literally scrape your cervix? King. Thanks, Dr. Google. All right, be cool. I go about the next hour sending design estimates to Fabian, who, thanks to King's meddling, didn't notice my absence. I'm contemplative on the way to the doctor. Change of thought. Let's keep that. Right, Lisa? I'm contemplative on the way to the doctor, asking myself if my suspicions are true. Do I tell him right away? What do I do? What I do know is that my baby or no baby. What I do know is that baby or no baby, I need my mother and sister at the very least. This thought brings me comfort and silences the whispers in my head that tell me that this is too soon. Okay. All right. The last half of this chapter. Yes. And then it's just femlines. Yeah, it's just femlines after that. But because it's late, I'm gonna go to bed. I know, right? He's all up in her business. He would have checked, like, freaking GPS to see where the car was. So she ain't hiding shit, despite the fact that she thinks she is. All right, focus. An hour and a half later, I'm in the stirrups doing a pap smear anyways. An hour and a half later, I'm in the stirrups doing a pap smear anyways, since I don't really want to lie to my husband. You silly girl. Thanks, books. An hour and a half later, I'm in the stirrups doing a pap smear anyways, since I don't really want to lie to my husband. What I hadn't considered, however, was how tender I'd be considering our rough love-making session just earlier that morning. Just early that morning. I said earlier. Was how tender I'd be considering our rough love-making session just early that morning. I tense, hissing. Ow! I'm sorry, ma'am. My gynecologist, Linda, tosses me a quick apologetic smile before adjusting the lights and leaning back down between my legs. I'm trying to be gentle, but there's quite a bit of swelling. She's gonna be super duper proper, because she's gonna have bedside etiquette since she's all up in someone's hoo-ha. I'm trying to be gentle, but there's quite a bit of swelling. I blush, rolling my lips. Have you been sexually active lately? Do you have some minor tearing through... You do have some minor tearing, but nothing... You have some minor tearing, though nothing major. The swelling, though, is quite strenuous. She mutters almost to herself. Yeah, I have. Well, I'm only asking because the last couple times you've been in here, it wasn't like that. Damn, OB. Well, I'm only asking because the last couple times you've been in here wasn't like this, and I want to be sure nothing else is going on. I got married about a month ago to a new man, not the person I was with during those other times. I bet if I looked in the mirror, my face would be fire engine red. Sex is very different with my husband than it was with my ex. A good thing? I pause. Very. Linda throws me a smile. Yo, for real, her OB's like, But I get it. I just want to make sure you're safe. Dr. Linda throws me a smile. Good. If the swelling is a thing that you're anticipating experiencing frequently, I suggest a medicine to help. Now, I'll send this sample off to be tested. You're free to put on your clothes, and while you're getting dressed, I will look at the results of your pregnancy test. It should be ready. I nod. I was overthinking it should be ready. It should be ready. I nod, taking my feet out of the stirrups and then sitting up, wiping myself with the wet towel she hands me. You get a wet towel? Lucky. All right, focus. We're adults. I dress quickly, anxious for the results. However, I don't have to wait long. A few minutes later, I'm in the chair meant for guests, not the client table, when she comes back with a sheet of paper. I don't know. I'm like, for real, what type of medicine helps with that swelling? Ma'am. Mrs. King, I come bearing news. I come back bearing news. Mrs. King, I come back bearing news. I blink, not responding because I already know in my heart. I just need a healthcare professional to validate it for me. Why I've always been this way, I'll never know. Why I've always been this way, I'll never know. But at some point, I need to learn to trust in my gut. My cat's got the zoomies. But at some point, I need to learn to trust in my gut instinct. You're pregnant, Mrs. King. Her eyes are kind as she looks at me. I inhale, my lips parting as I take in the information. What do I tell King? More importantly, when do I tell him? My heart breaks as I fear that he might not want this. He didn't sign up for a baby, not in the first 6 weeks of kidnapping me. As I walk out into the waiting room and see Xavier in a seat looking up at me from a magazine, my hand settles on my belly as I let myself think of a future where I have my own child to protect and love. I stand for a second and let myself explore for the first time having something for myself that I truly desire. I want this, with or without him. But I can't help but want him to want this too. We make our way into the elevator, and I'm silent the whole way down. Yeah, this book is on Kindle Unlimited. Hi, James. Ooh. And I'm silent the whole way down, carrying the weight of this alone, wishing I would have been brave enough to bring King with me so that I could get a good look at his face in front of the doctor instead of waiting until I was home. A plethora of A plethora of emotions swamped me, quickly becoming overwhelming. Once outside, I climb into the waiting car, lowering my head to my hand, and cry, uncaring of Dennis in the front seat. God, what do I do? Am I doomed to repeat history all over again with my own child, giving them a father that won't be present? Or worse, a father who hates my child because he didn't want them. Dennis asks softly, looking at me in the rearview mirror. Sniffing, I rub my hands down my cheek and heave a deep sigh. Yes, I just need a minute. Can you just sit here for a bit? I'm not ready to leave yet, I say in a hushed tone, wiping my eyes and staring out the window, trying to hide my crying. Done. This is book one. Yay. Thank you, SK. Hope you had a great shower. We are looking for the proper folder to put this in. Yes. All right. Cool. Okay. The next chapter is... No worries. But thank you for hanging out. The next chapter is just femlines. It's her mother. Hi, Patrick. Yeah, it's just her mother for a few lines, and then it's her. So he found out that she's pregnant, and he's amped. And she's like, oh, for real? You want this? So yeah, this is sort of split in 2 parts. Oh, good. I love a good relaxing shower. All right, so let's make a file. I was gonna quit, but I think I have enough in me to do these femlines. so that when we come back tomorrow, we can start off with a chapter. Ooh, it's about to get to the nitty, some more super nitty, unexpected gritty. That little twist at the end. Okay. So we are on chapter, if you are following along, we're on chapter 24. So we got roughly, it says 100 pages, but I think it's a little bit less because I don't have all 100. Lots of the end of the book is my co-narrator. So we probably got 40 pages left, maybe 50. We'll see. All right, we're doing femlines. I know, first of all, maybe Mason will get his shit together. All right, we're talking about book 2. I haven't read it, but the end of this will give you what it is. Okay. He calls her mother. Because he finds out she's pregnant, so now he's trying to make amends with everyone. So, including her mother. Hendrix, it's so good to hear from you. Cut the bullshit, Hendrix. I'm only being nice to you right now because you're keeping my daughter safe. But I don't like how you went about it, and I'm still upset. So, what do you want? I've got places to be. Mama is not playing with him. All right, I gotta put a little bit more space. Thank you for the roses. Okay, there we go. I need to put space in between the dialogue for the editor so that he knows. Cool, cool, cool. 2 separate dialogues. Great. All right, so he says, oh, come on, Donna. You can't hate me forever. Don't you want to love your son-in-law at some point? Don't I take such good care of my girls, all 3 of you? Because he gave them a bodyguard because, you know, her dad's like a very bad criminal, I guess. Yeah, well, I've never heard of a man doing what you've done. I suppose you're a good person, but the jury is out on whether or not I'm going to love you. So don't you hold your breath on my account. So where's your parents' place? Okay. I chuckle, seeing the gate. Oh, Donna, you know you don't have to drive yourself anymore. Pablo will bring you.
You added an extra U in there.
Which one?
You said, so don't you hold your breath on my account.
It's your. Got it. Thank you,
no,
sister.
but you added you.
I know. I'm gonna go back over it. Just the whole thing. But the jury is still out on whether or not I'm going to love you. So don't hold your breath on my account. So where's your parents' place? I want to thank you, Hendrix, for making sure me and my girls are protected. Oh, a steak Diane. Is it steak Diane? What is steak Diane? I need an adult.
I'm pretty sure it's steak smothered with mushrooms, but I can't be sure.
Okay, but it's Diane. Okay. I trust you guys. SK, I saw steak Diane cooked with cream and whiskey. Huh. Yeah, no, I figured it was a whiskey sauce and not straight up whiskey. Flambe. All right, that's too rich for me. I know. Okay, yes, exactly, Lisa. Pinky up. Okay, so he invited them. Yeah, fancy. You had it on your honeymoon. Fancy. Do you need experience? What type of voices are needed? All types of voices are needed. You will find what genre works good for you or which genre that you love. But yeah, with some training and stuff, you can adjust. You can adjust. You can learn to enunciate. Like nothing is untouchable. Just unless you suck at accents. If you suck at accents, just don't sign up for anything for accents. You get paid per finished hour, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get that finished hour. You're only paid for that finished hour. So that's why narrators often charge a lot, because that includes prepping. Sometimes it includes mastering the audio. It includes editing the audio, all of that. So, duh. Okay, Hendrix. We'll see you tomorrow evening, then. Do we need to bring anything for the baby or her mom? So this is the first time his sister is back from the hospital because she had her baby. She was pregnant in the beginning. Sometimes you have to, yes, new tattoo, and yes, sometimes you have to edit your own audio. There are lots of tools out there to help assist with that now, but yeah, you need to go through and make sure that your word perfect. You make sure you said Steak Diane instead of Steak Diana, all that stuff. So that's why audiobooks can be very expensive. And even if you pay for someone, that comes out of your per finished hour pay. So that's why, they charge what they do. Okay, so she's just come back home. Hi, beauty. How you doing? Hendrix. No. But I want to go to bed after dinner. I'm tired. I think I overdid it and should have stayed home, like you said. She didn't tell him. But she does with the next line. Yeah, Lizzie, that happens. It happens. Okay, so that's okay, beautiful. We have all weekend to rest. Teresa's bringing the baby to baby Vi, to the parents' house. She's calming down, but she's still super anxious. I'm pregnant. She sobs. That's the next line, so appropriate. He's like, I know you are, baby. And then she says, don't make me get rid of it. Don't make me get rid of it. She's fucked up. He didn't know the whole time. She went to the doctors, and so of course he had someone find out for him exactly why she went to the OBGs. He's so nosy. Thanks, TJ. Because you wanted me, not a baby. Okay. Whew. You really have to figure out where you cry, where it sits in your body. Uncomfortable. Okay. Sweetheart, if I didn't want a baby with you, I would have used a condom while we were written. I wasn't concerned about a pregnancy. I emphasize on a half laugh, seeing her crying begin to slow. I thought that was made clear when I told you that I loved you. So why would I make you do something that might potentially hurt you? I asked softly, seeing her eyes furrow. Mm-hmm. You don't understand. You knew I was on birth control, though, so I thought that you were just relying on that. And he puts her in her place. I love you. I want to have this baby with you. Why would you think that? Da 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 da. Okay, Isabel's eyes go from being narrow to wide before she swallows hard. I think one, for now, would be fine. He says, and for the record, eyed like an army of children. Well. It is so toxic. Well, I think one for now would be just fine. Hendrix, are you sure? Please don't make me think you're okay with this if you really aren't. All right, so they're coming down from the shock. She's coming down from the shock. Okay, but not too spoiled, or you'll have a monster on your hands if you aren't careful. Hendrix, stop calling me that. And a girl? Why not a boy? He says, no, don't ask me to. I bend, treating her to a rough kiss. And a boy and a girl. Why not a boy? Ooh, is that her or him? We're gonna leave it as is, and if it's him, the editor can take that. Okay. Sounds great. I don't like the way I said it then. We'll fix it right now. She's laughing. Don't stop calling me that. And a girl. Why not a boy? Okay. Hi, Charles. And that's it. That's the end. Yup. He talks about being a girl dad and reassures her that it's gonna be okay. And then that's the end of his chapter. All right. Be cool. Be cool. What did you write, SK? All right, we're saving that chapter. Oh, yeah, no. I don't have time for this one. One, Donna, her, mom. More lines. Her mom calls her out. And then her sister. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna do this tomorrow. I kinda don't want to. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I see that it's femlines, and I'm like, do I want to force this? Giggity. Nah, I should go to bed. It's 10:30. I'm single momming it this week, so I'm gonna head to bed. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow afternoon. because we out here. So, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. I am going to get rest. So until then, so there's the last few pages. There's more action, but less action. So yeah, it'll be good. All right, guys. I did good today. I at least got 1, maybe 2 finished hours, so I am content. All right. Good night. And don't forget to follow some of the other narrators in the list. Everybody's working hard and getting it in. Giggity. All right. Bye,
Good
guys.
night.